to Grow, Make, Cook. It's gotten cold this week. We've got -2 and 3 and 4 degrees, and the daytimes are getting to a toasty top of 2. Brrr.
Bok, I'm Mandy O. This is Grow, Make, Cook, and welcome to my garden. I grew up in Australia in a permaculture family, but after we got married, Mr. O and I moved here to his home country of Croatia. I am a passionate and hands-on homemaker and gardener, and I love life's simple pleasures. So join me on my journey, and together we can learn to grow, make, and cook. This is the 4th week in November, or Studeni.
What I'm doing here is just chopping back and removing the supports from my Jerusalem artichokes. Now, Jerusalem artichokes are neither related to Jerusalem nor to the common artichoke. They are related to sunflowers, and I've heard somewhere that it's related to French or Italian or something like that. And it's related to the words girasol, which is for the sun. So, not really artichoke or Jerusalem-y at all, but there you have it. Now, these have all completely died back. They've flopped and snapped and fallen, just like that. But I'm not digging them all up. Jerusalem artichokes are completely frost hardy, which means that I can just dig these up as and when I want them, so long as the soil isn't so frozen that I can't get a fork in there. I'm fine to harvest these just when I want them. Doesn't mean I can't clean up now though. And on that lovely French thought and a little bit of a French note, this here that I am picking is delightful, it's hardy, and hopefully it will grow as a perennial. It's sorrel. It's a delightful herb. It's rich and zingy, almost citrusy in flavour, and very rarely found in shops. Something you really have to grow in a garden to get, but you can use it just like spinach. You can wilt it down, or while it's nice and young and soft and tender like this, you can just tear it up and put it in a salad. But it really adds some beautiful freshness, and it's just growing like wild at the moment. Speaking of harvests, oh, there's a little slug on that. It's time to harvest, cook and eat any immature squashes. You can eat them like this when they're still little and green and not fully developed. They won't taste quite the same, but they're still perfectly safe to eat. You've got to remember that pumpkins and even winter squashes like this one are all related to zucchinis, and lots of those we eat when they're very immature and little. So fine to eat, fine to cook up. They will taste a little different, but best not let a good dinner go to waste. The garden changes quickly this time of year. The leaves finish their spectacular displays and drop their leaves, and this needs to be raked up and added to the compost. But the beautiful golden light of the short but glorious autumn afternoons have given way to the slightly more melancholy beauty of foggy mornings, low grey skies and dark silhouettes. It's a good time of year to look back and to reflect on what has been successful and what has been tasty and what really hasn't been. Now, this year I grew quite a lot of a pea. It was a dwarf pea, Mali provincianalats. It was quite a mealy and, well, bland pea. It didn't taste very good at all. And So now I'm going to sow it again, which seems very odd to you all, but will make sense in a second. I'm cramming this pot full of these rather bland, rather tasteless peas. I mean, we picked them and we ate them, but we didn't much enjoy them. Now, what I am going to do with the rest of them, because you get quite a lot of peas in a packet of seed and they're expensive, it feels like a shame to waste them, and I don't really want to inflict boring peas on anybody else. So instead of giving them away to some helpless, hapless friend, I'm going to sow these for pea shoots. Now, shoots are just the very young, tender leaves from the pea plant, and they're edible, they're good, they're sweet, and they're a lovely fresh salad green, and they can be grown in a pot inside on a windowsill, which means we can eat sweet fresh salads grown right inside, which means that if you're in a flat or an apartment and you've got a windowsill and space for a pot, you could potentially be growing your own salads without even needing a garden. Well, that is crammed so full of peas now. He needs a good water, and he'll go up inside on a plate, which means that he'll have a lot of moisture in there. I don't want it to be sodden, but I do want it to retain quite a bit of moisture. So this is going to go on a nice, bright, warm windowsill inside so that they germinate quickly and they'll get off growing quickly. It really doesn't get more instantaneous. You get the immediate satisfaction of growing baby leaves to eat with a salad, and they're beautiful, sweet, intense flavour. I can't recommend them enough. So if you've got some space to put a pot just on a windowsill, little tiny baby leaves are just a lovely way to go. But I think that's probably about all we've got time for this week. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you like what we're doing, please like the video. If you want notifications, use the bell icon below. And until next time then, do widzenia.